Perfect, we are live. So currently we are in Robert, Saskatchewan, just facing a decent sized thunderstorm. Very big. It's not violent yet, not even really in severe category, but there is some pretty heavy rain and quite a few lightning strikes as well. We're just gonna take on out of here just in a second here. I'm just getting some more things set up. I do think I might head out south. No, I'm gonna head directly south from here. Because at the moment I'm facing a little bit at a weird angle to the storms. Just gotta line all my stuff up. Yeah, we're good to go. See, I don't want to, since it's runoff season right now, I really don't want to go on any of the dirt roads around here because I don't want to hit the ditch. If you run through running water with a truck or like pretty much anything, you're likely going to get either washed off the road or possibly even like pushed into the ditch. There's a lot of things that can happen. But there's quite a few different storms that are firing off right now. There's some just by the border right now. There's quite a few lightning strikes, but primarily just south of us near Etonia has the biggest risk for some larger storms. The radar down there right now is actually out, so I have no idea what's going on south of us because there's no radar coverage. There is radar coverage, but it's not adequate radar coverage. We're starting to get hit with some rain here. Guess I should go 40. I think I might head direct. I'm gonna head directly east right now, and then I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna turn to the south because these storms aren't moving very fast. They're moving very slow, almost to the point where they're stationary. I'm also not sure if they're gonna be very long-lived. Never seen this many people on Main Street in Robert. There's been about 4 new lightning strikes almost at the same time in the sill. So this storm, again, it isn't really moving, and that's going to be where the biggest threat is. There isn't a very big threat for tornadoes today, not even really hail, but it's just going to be when those storms are stationary and they're dropping lots of rain at the same time. That's going to be when the biggest threat for flooding is. Yeah, I'm going to go east on 51 here. I do not like this road because it is very rough. And therefore it's hard to drive on, especially with the camera, because I don't want the camera to fall off, because I don't have it secured to anything right now. Like that. because this road ends up going straight for a little bit, and then it takes a turn and it goes towards just directly east towards Saskatoon. So that's where I'm hoping to head right now. Eventually, once I get ahead of the storm, I'm actually gonna hopefully drive south. There does look like a surprising bit of new storms developing just to my west. So that's gonna be a storm that we're gonna watch a little bit later today. Right now, I want to head towards these ones because these ones, they're definitely building the fastest, and definitely the biggest threat right now is gonna be in these storms here. So once I get ahead of them, I'm going to follow them for a little bit, and then we're going to reevaluate, and we're going to see what the next target should be. Yeah, there's quite a bit of rain falling in that storm there. I probably should have went south. I just really did not want to take a dirt road. I knew that this was a highway, and I also know that I can get ahead of it with this. Because if I'm ahead of it, I'll take a dirt road. It's just when I'm in the storm, I really don't like chasing on dirt roads. I'd obviously do it, but it's a risk that you don't want to try and take, especially primarily with that flooding risk. Hail and tornadoes, even straight line winds, it's fine to drive on dirt roads for specifically those things, but once you add in the factor of some really heavy rain, you really don't want to be driving on those dirt roads because sometimes they'll completely wash out. I actually do know right now, be careful around cut knife. I've had a few people that have told me that roads have washed out, and I mean completely washed out. There's water running over them, but once you go into them, you're just gonna fall because there's no road there. Some culverts are being pushed out. We're gonna go look at those probably tomorrow because we're down here right now. Yeah, right now, the biggest area right now that's gonna get hit is Dodsland, maybe just south of Dodsland. Yeah, we're just barely to the north of the storm right now. Just barely. Yeah, it's coming right up on Dodsland right now. Turn the camera so you guys can see it down there, but a little annoying with that little black bracket thing, but it'll have to do for now. At least until we get into that storm. Right above me, I can still see that rain falling. I gotta get south of this thing. See, primarily when you have these storms, the southernmost tip of the end will be your most dangerous spot, and that's generally just because that's where you're gonna have your tornado risk. Your risk for tornadoes is very low in the main core. I say low, it still isn't impossible, but the anatomy of a supercell, it's that rotating updraft. So it'll be right as the storm starts to get bigger and on the southern tip that tornado is likely going to form. I'm also wondering because I can't see the southern tip of it, and my radar imagery isn't very good today because we don't have the radar is down. It's the Burstall radar, so we still have the one in Radisson, but I can't get as much info from that one as I can the Burstall one. It is really dark. This is also still April, so there's not a very big risk. If this were to happen in June, I might not even be going storm chasing, but just because it's in April, and especially with that threat for flooding, I want to be able, oh, here we go. Yeah, now we're getting into some rain. But I want to be able to get out here in April just to start testing things and seeing how they're going to work before the main threat of severe weather comes. Wow. Yeah, we're just going to go forward here because right now the storm is directly to our south. Wow, it's looking kind of green right now, which that could mean that there's large hail in that storm, which I hope not, because I do not have my hail cage on. Still does look like that's south, maybe just east of Colville. That one is starting to still build. And I can see it. I can literally see the shadow of it coming down. Yeah, once I punch through this spot here, once it stops raining, then I'm going directly south. Lightning, I've stopped detecting lightning down there. Which normally though this storm is actually recycled. This is the third time it's recycled now, where there'll be a lot of lightning for about 2 minutes, 2, 3, maybe 5 minutes, and then it just completely stops, and then it builds just to itself. That's what these storms are trending towards doing. It's always fun when it does that. So gotta make sure not to get lost, because I do not know many roads down here. Just got an update that the cell down south, it is still getting bigger. I'm probably going to head south right as I get a road down there. I'm going to head south and try to because I'm ahead of this thing right now. So I'm going to slow down and get ready to turn right. Yeah, the road is very wet. Oh, there's a power line there. I'm gonna head south on there. So this, if you're just tuning in, I'm right just east of Corroborate. I'm about to head south on Highway 51 right now, and there's a decent sized thunderstorm just to my south. The rain is gonna be the main threat in it. So there's not a huge risk. If there is a risk, if a tornado does touch down today, it's not going to be a supercell tornado. It's likely just going to be a landspout, which are tornadoes that form underneath the rapidly building thunderstorm, which is exactly what we have today. We have storms that are very quickly going through cycles, and that's where we're going to have the greatest risk for a tornado. Now, landspout tornadoes are generally a lot weaker, and they don't really do much damage. They're only on the ground for a few minutes at a time sometimes, but they still are tornadoes, and any tornado is strong enough to do damage. That is a huge cell. I had no idea that this was going to get this big. Yeah, very big flood risk right now. That's the main threat. I would not doubt that there's hail in this cell either. Like, just the power, like this thing recycled very, very fast, and I would not doubt that this thing is going to have hail in it. Yeah, there's some really heavy rain here. I'm hoping to get on the south of this thing. If I can get to the south, that would be perfect, because on the southern tip of the storm is the greatest risk for a tornado, and that is what I'm hoping to see today. If I can get a tornado today, that would be incredible. Now, I'm really not hoping for one because they are dangerous, but it is looking more and more possible. That is a very cool looking house. I hope that was a rock and not a hailstone. Those are rocks. Okay, I'm flicking rocks up from the bottom. Got ugly storm, ugly. And it is still developing. There is still some cumulus clouds in front of it, which are showing to be a flanking line, which is very odd. You almost never do get a flanking line from the north. I don't even know if it is possible, but that is what I'm seeing right now. So you're going to have, with this storm, right around it, it's going to be a lot of clouds. So you're going to just have clouds feeding into the storm, and when it's at its maturest point, there'll be lots of lightning and then very heavy rain. I have to turn my flashers on. So I have flashers on the back of my truck, and they have them on right now. So if you, I highly doubt anyone who's driving out here will see this, will be watching this stream, but do not follow any storm chasers. Storm chasers go into storms. You don't want to go into storms. It's a bad thing. That's a no-through road. I'm gonna have to go right here. I was looking at the storm and I see the no-through road and I'm like, oh boy, we gotta head south. So we're actually headed east now. So you can kind of see those cumulus clouds feeding into the storm. A lot of them in front of it, which will happen sometimes. Which normally you'll get when you have bigger, more violent storms. You'll have stuff being pushed ahead of it. Yeah, I hope there's a road that goes south. I think I see one. Yeah, look behind me on here. It's basically black. It's blackness. Yeah, that's a good old road, so I ain't taking that. Kind of wondering if up by those, there's another road power lines. Oh, they go through a field. Oh, never mind. This right here. I don't know if this road that I take. So I check my maps real quick on my phone. Yeah, that road is down.